Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Coach to Coach Show with Alease Michelle. Today we have a special guest, and I am super excited. So, you guys know what the dealio is. Go ahead and put your name in the comment section so that we can say hi to you. Let us know where you are viewing us from. And if you know anyone else who wants to listen to this and needs to listen to this, and don't be stingy, go ahead and hit that share button so we can share this and get it out to more people. All right. So you guys know what I normally do. I want to check to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. And that sound is good. And then I am going to introduce our guest, and then we're going to get right into this awesome content. So let me check section so that we can say hi to you. Yes, we are sounding good. So let me introduce Miss Sasha, y'all. Sasha is an online business manager and strategist, and she's also known as the automation queen. So I know my coaches out there, y'all know I am all about the automation, and Sasha is going to help us talk about that and map some of that out. She's also seen women come to her when they are tired of doing things manually and need good tools in their system. And so Sasha is that person to help you save time and grow your business. Sasha also has 10 years of upper management experience behind her. And Sasha started the Workflow Strategist Company to do just that, to help women set up the right system so that they can earn more by doing less. So guys, let's welcome Miss Sasha. And y'all, let me just say this. Her voice is absolutely beautiful, like beautiful, right?
Thank you.
So right now we have Dion, we have Rosa. Rosa says, hola.
Hola.
She's in Boston, Massachusetts. We have Iona. Iona says, hey, Alease and Sasha. Sounds great. Thank you. And she's in Delaware. How's the weather out there, Iona, in Delaware?
Yeah, this is probably cold.
All right. So, Sasha, tell us a little bit, like, where are you from? Give us some, like, background information about you.
Sure. Well, I actually, I live in Augusta, Georgia now, but I recently moved here. I've only been here for about a month and a half. Originally, I just moved from Tampa, Florida. And so that's where all my family is. That's where I pretty much spent most of my life. I do have an island background. I'm Haitian. Both my parents are Haitian. I spent a few years living in Haiti, but Tampa is pretty much what's been home for me for almost 20 years before moving to Augusta.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this whole, like, how did you get this automation queen title?
Honestly, organization and automation have just been things that have come naturally to me. I love making sure that things are running in the most efficient way. So honestly, this started years ago. I was a middle schooler. I went to my cousin's house and their closets were insane. And I told them, I said, you guys, you can't live like this. There's a much more efficient way of doing things. And so that afternoon, I actually took their closet apart and put it all back together, organized everything, made sure everything had, its spot. And so that kind of led, that stayed with me throughout the years. I always, when I started working at a new career, I would pretty much start at the bottom of the totem pole. I would start at it as the entry-level position. And very quickly, I would insert myself into the operations and say, hey, look, there's an easier way to do things. And so, of course, with the rise of technology, things have gotten more digital. That's how I ended up in the automation world. And I just love it. There's no reason to have to do everything manual.
You're right. You were so right. So you gave us a little sneak peek of your background before you became like the coach or the go-to person or starting to work for, Workflow Strategist.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about like what did you do beforehand?
Yeah, so I actually, like I said, I always started with the entry-level position, and I ended up as a regional manager, general manager. So I was always the person that would end up running kind of everything. And so my very last position was an HR/general manager for a health insurance company. Yeah. And I loved it. It was great, but I knew that it was time to just kind of branch out and do things on my own. I was helping all these companies with their systems, and I knew that I wanted to help more small businesses do the same thing that these larger companies were doing.
Awesome. And you know what? A lot of the members, Coachpreneur members, all can relate to that. Seem like all of us have been in some kind of upper management. We've owned other businesses somewhere, or, you know, we always been the person to help other people grow their business in some form or fashion. Right. And so when we branch out, we take those skill sets that we learned by working for someone else and apply it and help other small business, female entrepreneurs, other coaches be able to do the same thing, because, you know, everyone doesn't have the money and the resources. And so that's where we all fit in to help other people do that as well.
Absolutely.
So tell me, in this whole either coaching industry or in this automation industry, what are some of the mistakes that you tend to see other female entrepreneurs make in the business?
So honestly, the mistakes that I see other people making are mistakes that I made for myself. And so I had to learn myself that these are things that just don't work. So one of the biggest things that I see entrepreneurs doing is doing everything, or thinking that they have to do everything on their own, and just feeling like, oh, everything has to be on me. And it doesn't have to be that way. We all started our business typically it's because we wanted to have some sort of an impact on, you know, on someone. But we get bogged down by all the admin stuff because, hey, these things do need to happen in your business for it to run effectively. But we get stuck thinking like, it has to all be on me. I have to do this, I have to do that. And so that's mistake number one, thinking that it all has to be on you. And then mistake number two would be not wanting to invest in the support that you know you need to grow, because again, it can't all be on you. So those would be, I would say, my top two mistakes that I see entrepreneurs making.
All right. So I heard one key thing. What resources do you think like a beginner coachpreneur would need to have in place? And maybe these are resources that people always, I call to say, hem and high about making the decision to buy it. And so they try to find like these little shortcut ways, or, oh, I can just do it myself. But what are some of the resources that you suggest that a new coach or entrepreneur needs to have in their business?
And so by resources, do you mean kind of like the tools that they need?
Anything that, if someone was to say, and I know we hate this word, we hate it, can I pick your brain, right? And if you was like, okay, these are the two things that you just need to have. And, you know, then if you want anything else, you need to pay me. What are those two things?
I would say, you know, for any new entrepreneur, any new coach, whatever it may be, you want to start by making sure your business has systems. And I would argue that every business has systems, and systems just basically means the way that we do things here. But by systems, I mean making sure that they are documented. So, you know, if you know that you write a blog and you post it on your website every week, having those steps documented makes a huge difference, because when you are ready to scale, you're not having to sit there and think, well, how do I do everything in my business? So that would be step number one, making sure that all of your systems are documented. Every process that that it takes in your business to get the job done, that should be documented in some way, form, or fashion. And then beyond that is making sure that you have the proper tools. And so I like to think that before you delegate, you should automate. And so meaning that before you start thinking, oh, I need a VA to do this, or I need, you know, somebody to help me to run my business, I can't do it all. Think about how you can delegate some of these tasks to tools before you start thinking, oh, let me hire someone. Because why would you pay somebody to do something when a tool could do it for you that much faster? Now you're able to invest in the right people to do the things that have to be done manually instead of doing the things that can be done by automation.
Yeah. Y'all heard that, right? She says, and y'all know I am all about, let's find some tools to automate this, because a lot of times these automation tools will just they will almost give you like 2 or 3 hours in your whole week. Sometimes it will eliminate like a whole day.
Yes.
Right? Here's the funny thing. I have a client the other day, and she wants to automate her webinar, how things go. And so mostly, I don't know if you know this, but you probably do. A lot of these webinar tools, like the evergreen webinar tools, are not cheap. Right. So having this conversation with her, I said, okay, what's your budget and what is it that you really want to automate? And so once I told her about, there are automation tools out there, but the price point is this. I guess what I'm saying is even automating 2 steps in your business eliminates doing something that you would have to do. Like she was manually sending out links to people for their,
Wow.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I would say before you think about how much a tool costs, go back and look at how much time it takes you to get the task done. So in the case of a webinar, we already know that there's a welcome email that needs to go out. We know that there's a reminder email that needs to go out. Usually we have about 3 reminder emails. One the day of, like, oh, it's happening today. One an hour before, one 15 minutes before, and then one at the start of the actual webinar. So if she was manually sending all 4 of those emails, think about how much time that takes. And so if you have one webinar a month and it takes you, 5 hours in that month to do that, how much are those 5 hours worth to you? Is that 5 hours worth, $100, $200? Right. Now you can go back and look at the tools and say, okay, this is my budget because this is already costing me 5 hours a month.
Right.
And so you look at it like that. Look at it in terms of return on investment, not just, oh, I'm going to spend $100 a month on this tool or $50 a month on this tool. Well, yeah, how much time did it save you? And what could you do with that time? Right. If you find one client in those 5 hours that you had extra, did it make up for it? Yeah. So, yeah, you want to think of it like that.
Good point. Good. That was a really good point. All right. So the next question I want to ask you is, what do you wish you knew when you first started?
A lot of things. How do I pick? But one of the biggest things that I would say I wish I knew, last year I went through a burnout phase, and I would look at my computer and just cringe. And I knew I loved what I was able to do for my clients, but it just became so overwhelming for me. And so I wish I had known to lean on, to find support when you need it, that it's okay to ask for help and to lean on that support when you have it, because I did have 2 team members at the time of my burnout and I wasn't properly using them. So I wish I had known to, how to better delegate, how to better manage my time so that I wouldn't reach that point of overwhelm, that point of burnout, that most of us, I think, most entrepreneurs go through this at one point or another, and it's typically because you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah, so. I totally agree. Now, this question I have is sort of off topic, but I follow you on Instagram, okay? And I absolutely love the dancing videos. Right? I love all of those. But I wanted, and this is like, y'all, okay, Coachpreneurs, y'all, this is a personal question. So if y'all follow Sasha, I'm going to make sure I put all her information in the comments, but it also to follow her on Instagram is in the description in this video. But how do you come up with the topics for your stories? Like okay, I know you might have said, that's personal, Alease. I ain't sharing that. You got to, you got to be, you got to hire me for me to tell you that. But you do a dance video, something dance, and then you share some tip. And do you have it? I guess it's 2 parts. How do you come up with the topics? And how do you break it up? Like, I'm going to do something in the morning, midday, afternoon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I definitely think everything is about structure for sure. So I feel like your audience kind of needs to know what to expect from you. So I know that every morning I'm going to start with a dance video and saying happy whatever day it is. So you can know religiously. Well, actually, there's a post that comes before that. So Commanding Life is an Instagram account that I follow. And every day they post a different kind of like empowering and, affirmative post. And so every morning I wake up, the first thing I do, roll over and post that in my stories. Then I go on about my day. I do my mindset stuff and all that. Then I come back on stories and I do my dancing, happy, whatever day. Beyond that, I just know that it's so important to be consistent and to show up every day. So I make sure that I'm sharing some sort of a tip, some sort of this is how I work with clients, information. And really, that's really all it's about. I wake up, make sure that I do my empowering post or story. And then from there, it's, hey, let me see how I can add value by showing you how to do something.
Awesome. I love them. Like, literally, this is how I found Sasha, guys, is through her Instagram stories. And so I asked that question because one of my little sayings to my members is we need to show up and show out. Yes. And it's not hard. Like, it's really not hard, right? If you just, and the key word you kept saying is consistency. If you show up, even if I've seen some of my people I follow, they show up in the morning with a do-rag on or with a scarf, right? But they're showing up. And I think, again, I don't know how old you are, but I'm old school. I'm 48. And so back then, we didn't do stuff like that. If it wasn't perfect, you did not put it out there, right? Yeah. And so in this new world, it needs to not be perfect. Like, if it's perfect, they won't even follow you. Like, it's like, oh, that's too perfect. Like, that's fake, or she's not real, or whatever. So it's so fun. And it's hard for us to say, okay, it's okay to not, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be clean. I don't have to have makeup on. I don't have to, I always have this, 3-piece suit thing on. And so I admire to see you, doing the dancing. I can't dance. My husband says I say I can dance, right?
Having a good time, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I really feel this as far as stories are concerned. Funny because I just had a live segment where we talked about creating a very engaged Instagram audience. And one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize is that your posts are meant to be a little bit more curated. But when it comes to curated and perfect and all of that, but when it comes to your IG stories, this is your opportunity to kind of let your hair down, to let people in on who you are as a personal brand. And so when I am doing my posts, I'm a little bit more perfect. But when it comes to my actual stories, this is my opportunity to show you like who Sasha really is. Mm-hmm. And it's your potential client's opportunity to see how you are behind the scenes. How would it be like to actually work with Sasha? And working with Sasha isn't this completely polished, experience. It's fun. It's, there's more to me than just the business aspect. And so in the stories, I come with my bonnet on sometimes, and that's what it's all about.
Oh, I can't do the bonnet thing just yet. I just, woo! But I've seen
people relate to, right. Nicole Walters, she's a huge Instagram and outside of Instagram personality. You know how many live streams she does in her bonnet?
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah. Maybe I need, look at me. I'm like, maybe I just need to get the right bonnet, right?
The right bonnet. So funny.
Awesome. All right. So the last question I have to close out the show, what advice would you tell some of the Coachpreneur members? And to be honest, I'm gonna put them on blast. A lot of them are really shy about being more visible. And I think, and they're overthinkers. I'm putting y'all out there because y'all are, right? They're overthinkers. So what advice would you share to them to help them get over that hump?
As far as engagement and showing up goes, I would say, remember why you're doing this. Pretty much anything that I do always stems from my why. Even when I'm creating systems for my clients or for myself, it always starts with the why and the vision. So think about, what is the end result? What is my intended outcome? What do I want to happen? Is it, do I want to have an impact? Do I want to radically change my life and the lives of the people that I touch? How do I want to be seen in this world? How do I want other people to receive my message? So when you think about all those things and you have a clear vision, it's so much easier to work backwards from there. And so if your vision includes having a positive impact on people, you can't do it from hiding behind a screen. You need to step in front of that screen. You need to show people who you are. They need to be able to touch you. That know, like, and trust factor is such an important part of sales. And so if you're struggling with, putting yourself out there, think about why you're doing this and what your intended outcome is, and know that without consistently showing up and showing out, it'll be really hard to attain that level of success that you're after.
Oh, you see, awesome advice. You are just awesome. So what new things you have coming up in your business that you would like to share with the group, or any freebies, anything that you just keep the connection going with the people on right now with us?
Of course. So I have an amazing freebie, and it's the guide to automating your business. I know that everybody wants to automate. They've been hearing about it more and more, but not everyone knows how to. I'm a tech person, so I will go out and do all this research, but maybe that's not your zone of genius. And so I have an awesome freebie that actually, it's a spreadsheet. It shows you exactly what areas of your business can be automated, why you would even want to automate these, areas, and then the actual links for the tools that I recommend and the tools that I use. So you'll know exactly how to automate, like, your lead generation process, your client onboarding, offboarding, project management, all of that. You'll get all of that in that freebie. So that's where I would say to start. And then one quick tidbit for those who are listening, in your tools, when it comes to systems and tools, you definitely want to make sure, I always say every entrepreneur, especially if you're a coach, should have these 4 systems. You should have a way for clients to easily set up calls with you. You should have a way for clients to easily hire you. And that means your client relationship management system, making sure they have an easy way to maybe look at a proposal, sign a contract, do their invoice, and get it all done. You should have a way for people. Number 3 is a way to manage all of your projects. And then number 4 is email marketing. Of course, you want to have people in your email list. And so all of those will be talked about in the complete guide to automation. And it gives you, like I said, the exact tools that I use. But you definitely want to make sure you have at least those 4 so that you're running efficiently and not having to feel like a chicken with your head cut off.
Right. That's my favorite saying. So what's that link so I can put that in here?
I believe I gave you the link, but it's actually the workflowstrategist.com/automation.
Okay, work.
I believe so. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me go to, it's automation freebie. So if I pop it in the chat, will it send to you?
Yeah. Put it in there. That's awesome.
Boom. There we go.
Awesome.
Oh, there are live comments here. I didn't even see this.
Yes. If you have never used this platform before, oh no, let's put it in the banner. Let's see. I can show it in the banner. There it goes, guys.
Awesome. There you go. And if you follow me on Instagram, if you can't get this down right now, if you follow me on Instagram at the Workflow Strategist, it's in the link in my bio as well. All right. Awesome. And some other freebies and blogs and fun stuff. And one more thing that I am working on, or that I am offering as a freebie, is an opportunity to do a systems audit. And that's a 45-minute call with me. We get on a Zoom call and we would talk about the systems that you do have in place in your business right now, and where the gaps are, where you could stand to maybe automate some things or delegate some things, et cetera. So we would go through all of that, go through your client journey, and talk about how to up-level your systems. And that's a free 45-minute call. I'm doing it, now for a limited time. So definitely get in on that. And to get that link, let me pop that link in there for you guys. It's the workflowstrategist.com/audit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say, put that in there and I can grab it in there
for you. Boom. There you go. And again, if you're following me on Instagram, it's in the link in my bio as well. So for those of you who can't catch all the links popping up on the screen, follow me on IG and you'll get it all.
Put that one in the comments. That might be easier for me.
Awesome.
Sometimes this stuff pops up twice. So there it is. There it is. So I think we had someone who had a question or a statement.
Sure.
I think it's Michelle. Okay. She says, I'm setting up a MLM. I have a business coach who is walking me through it. I need all of that, but especially automation for my ambassadors and website. Would you consider taking on another client? I would buy the guide though.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Michelle. So what I would say to do is to set up a call with me. Let's meet. Let's talk it out. I always like to say, before I just say yes, I definitely want to talk it out, see if we're the right fit, and make sure that I have a clear understanding of what it is that you're trying to get done, and make sure that I'm actually the right person for the job. So absolutely, Michelle, let's talk it out.
All right, so Michelle, let me see if I'm missing anything else. We have a little troll that is in here, so I had to block people.
Oh, no worries. Let me see if there's anything that I caught. I don't see any questions in here.
Those people say great information, great, nice to meet you. Yeah, awesome. Let me see. I see Rosa. Okay, and some of other people are putting in more links. All right, awesome. Well, Sasha, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And everyone did agree on how beautiful your voice is.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I can't really take any credit, so I'll go ahead and say an extra thank you to the man upstairs later.
All right, guys. So again, if you guys please follow Sasha on Instagram. Go ahead and grab her freebie. Her link is still on the screen. And if you want additional help, she did put the link in about the audit. Reach out to her, follow her, love her stories like I do. She has great information. And Sasha, I want to say thank you again so much for joining us today on the Coach to Coach show. I know everyone loved it. And Rosa says you should do a voiceover.
I can do a voiceover. You know what? If you send me some resources or some people I should reach out to,
yeah,
I'm not opposed. But Alease, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you bringing me on to share my information with your tribe, your audience. So thank you. You're
welcome. And you know what? It's all about supporting each other, and showing other people where this is not my God sent gift. This is yours. So I don't mind sharing the stage with other people so that they can get the information. That's my gift. My purpose is to make sure that we all get what we need. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I love that.
Awesome. All right. So Coachpreneur members, thank you guys for joining Sasha and I on the Coach to Coach show. You guys know what? Stay tuned to next week's show. I've got great information that I'm going to share with you. And you guys, again, if you know anyone who needed this information, who needs to connect with Sasha, go ahead and hit that share button. Sharon is Karen, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. Talk to you later.